Let's go! Is Jabril Cox the next great NFL linebacker? I mean, heck, we just saw Devin White dominate as a sideline-to-sideline backer for the Buccaneers. Is Jabril going to follow suit? So on today's video, I'm going to discuss some things that I really like about him and some other things that I think he needs to work on. But what he did today at his LSU Pro Day was pretty daggum impressive. So Jabril Cox didn't get to compete in LSU's normal pro day because he had a hamstring injury that he said that it came on his last 40-yard dash during training, and that's why he didn't participate in LSU's last pro day. So in today's pro day, he ran a pretty good 40 at 4.54 for a normal linebacker. I know some people thought he was going to run a little bit faster because speed is the biggest name to his game, and a vertical, broad jump, whatever. But, 6'3", 233, running 4.54 is pretty daggum impressive. 37 tackles, 6.5 for a loss, 1 sack, 3 interceptions, and 1 touchdown. It was just 1 touchdown, but he had a pick that got LSU down to the 1-yard line against Arkansas, which led, of course, to an easy touchdown there. So this is a great job by Chrissy, also bringing up that Pro Football Focus reported that Cox allowed 0 touchdowns and recorded 0 penalties while accumulating 3 interceptions across 352 coverage snaps. This is simply incredible that Jabril Cox played at that high of a level. So it's pretty impressive knowing what this guy did in year one, in a year that he didn't get to work with the defense, in a year led by Bo Pelini, who obviously was a disaster. This is a guy that could be the next great linebacker. And that was the case before he even came to LSU. I mean, he accomplished everything you possibly could accomplish at North Dakota State. But let's actually do a quick little film study. This is one of the most ridiculous plays I have ever seen a linebacker make. The only problem is it's going to be a little tough to see it because it just happened to be in the middle of a fog storm. So here we are, and this was a video I found from Traskimo on YouTube, and this is just freaking incredible, this fog storm. I mean, it was crazy because the first half was so crystal clear, and then you get to this point where it's, you can barely even see anything. And the funny thing is it was actually the end zone sky cam that became the main camera angle. So this is obviously from an all 22 angle where you can obviously see everyone. And believe it or not, this is Jabril Cox right here. This play is just freak athleticism. This is Jabril Cox here. It's kind of tough to see if this is a wide receiver. This looks like Trevon Grimes and Kadarius Toney here. So is this a wide receiver? Is this a tight end? We don't know. But let's actually go through this play. And this is him right here. And notice he is stride for stride with this guy down the field. I mean, this is just freaking incredible. Now, of course, this isn't Kyle Pitts. I'm sure NFL evaluators would have loved to have seen Jabril Cox go head up against Kyle Pitts, but to each their own. So on that down, he was stride for stride with the tight end. But now, look at what Dan Mullen decides to do. He says, okay, you're going to have a linebacker go man-on-man. Let's put Trevon Grimes right here, and let's see if Jabril Cox can stay stride for stride with Trevon Grimes, who is going to be a wide receiver that will play at the next level. And in this game, behind Kadarius Toney, this is the second best option. I believe this is Toney right here. So we have our linebacker going man-on-man, and what you're going to see here immediately is Jacoby Stevens is not giving Jabril Cox any help over the top. And what Bo Pelini's doing here is taking a chance. He's going to say, if we get decent rush, we want Jacoby Stevens to attack this quarterback and potentially get a safety. So, guess what Kyle Trask says? I see these guys coming. There's no safety over the top. Trevon Grimes in this fog storm has his hand up in the air, but this is a linebacker stride for stride with Grimes and high points the football and bats it away and beats his chest. I love that attitude right there. So let's just throw it back. Let's look at it again. Once again, these were back-to-back plays. Okay? It's pretty incredible the more you think about it. Stride for stride with this guy. Next play, Dan Mullen creates a matchup issue. Are they going to stay in the same coverage? Okay. And you'll see here, LSU is actually in a little bit of disarray because of the motions. And McLaughlin comes out here. Jay Ward, who is the nickel corner in this situation. Ricks, and this is another linebacker up here, Damon Clark. And this is just nuts. This is simply insane that you would trust this linebacker to guard this receiver. And honestly, was the throw behind him just a little bit? Let's see. Stride for stride. Once again, there was no jam here either. No jam. This is just a foot race. So Kyle Trask got the reset here because there was some penetration. BJ Ojolari with the spin move to the inside, forcing Kyle Trask to reset. Good job by BJ. He's a pocket quarterback, so contain isn't as important. And so that did affect the throw, but it forced Cox to run even farther with Grimes here. And the ball was slightly underthrown, but look, he turns his head and finds a football. There's a lot of defensive backs who can't do that. That is just simply insane. So, whenever you talk Jabril Cox, obviously, as a box linebacker, this is a difficult thing to evaluate now. But, he wasn't necessarily a thumper. He would miss some tackles in the running game. And obviously, he was a part of an LSU defense that was historically bad. So those are obviously some big concerns. But this is a passing league, and there's only going to be more passing, not less passing. And you still have to have linebackers that are big enough to defend the run. And Jabril Cox, obviously, at 233 pounds with the 4.5, 440, is definitely big enough to defend the run. And there was obviously the concerns that he was putting up these big numbers against North Dakota State. And, for him to perform as well as he did at LSU in year one, it's obviously something that's very interesting. And I heard him talking to Cody Worsham about how much Cody asked him, hey, Jabril, how much did it suck for you to not be able to play in front of all the fans at Tiger Stadium? And Jabril said something very interesting. He said, you know what? The middle of the road capacity at Tiger Stadium was still more than any fan experience he had at North Dakota State. So it was still a jump up for him as far as experience and, of course, the competition he played against. So I think he's going to be a fantastic NFL linebacker. Obviously, is it a 4-3 or a 3-4? There's obviously a lot of questions involved in that. But if a linebacker can cover receivers stride for stride, especially receivers that are going to the NFL versus a quarterback who's more than likely going to be a backup in the NFL, that lets you know that Jabril Cox can really play. And, obviously, I wish him the best. I hope you enjoyed this video today. A little bit different than some of the content we've been doing. And it is also to get you excited about our NFL draft coverage this Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central, right here on the YouTubes. So, if you just happen to come across this video for the first time, I'm sorry. I'm kidding. But yes, thank you. Welcome to the channel. And if you love film breakdowns such as this one, We have a full first half and second half spring game breakdown. And obviously, if you don't like film studies, but you watch this video anyway, we don't just do film studies. We do all different types of videos. So welcome. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom! Paneer tonight. I know it's the third video in a row I'm saying Paneer, but we're actually doing the Paneer tonight. Let's go!